What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new week of the Blackprint. I am your host, James Johnson. Listen, I am so happy to be here with you guys tonight. Last week, if you were tuned in last week, it kind of went bust. I had to shut down super early, a little bit early. Had a catastrophe going on with the child, and I didn't have any choice but to shut us down. So we are back. This is part two with Mr. Michael Finkley. This is a great time. I have so much to talk to you guys about. Obviously last week I was going to give you kind of, I guess, a precursor, if I want to say, just kind of give you guys really a look at everything that I'm going to be doing with this podcast and all the different things that I'm going to be talking about. Of course, it is called the Blackprint, so it really centers around the coming of my first book, which is also titled The Blackprint. That's what I'm saying, man. Listen, it has taken me so long to put this book together. And when I tell you I have been writing for every bit of 5 years, and I wiped it and I started over and I wiped it and started over, and I'm ready to get this damn book out. So, and I finally settled on the Blackprint as the title because I just think that my life is shit. My life is a blueprint, and I just wanted it to be something different. So the Blackprint. Um, and there's so many things that are going to be covered in that book. Obviously, my growing up and really growing into what it is that I'm doing, depression, me getting through that, this crazy and tumultuous divorce that I went through, that I had to battle with for a little bit of time, and just how I have gotten to where I am now, this place of happiness and joy and purpose. I'm doing so many things that I feel are truly aligned with my purpose and what I'm supposed to be doing in this world. So I'm super happy. So that is that is a big part of the focus of the Blackprint. But there's also going to be other things too. Of course, many people know that I run this multi-tiered media company that I have been honestly working at on paper for 10 years, but otherwise for about 20 plus years. So this has been a journey of a lifetime, and I'm so happy with where things are going, things that are happening, things that are coming. So we will talk about a lot of that stuff, and you'll really get to see the ins and outs of what it is taking for me to run this company on my own dime. So that's another big part of the focus. And then I'm bringing in a lot of my friends, my media friends, my here and there celebrity friends, managers, publicists, and we're really just going to be talking about not so much the business, even though that kind of obviously seeps in, but it's really going to be just a lot about how we are maneuvering resources that we have, kind of helping each other, just being that voice that sometimes we need. Being that voice that we need to be sometimes, and also hearing the voice that we need to hear sometimes, because I think Mike, because we're not going to be formal here. So Mike, no, we ain't going to say Mikey, but Mike, I think he can.
All right, that's new.
That's new. I think Mike can definitely attest to the fact that a lot of times we don't feel like we really have anybody to talk to. And we deal with so much stuff in this industry, so many ups, so many downs, so many different things where we feel like we are being sabotaged, and we just maneuver through it. And sometimes we talk to ourselves because we don't have anybody else to talk to. So Mike has kind of been that person who just kind of came out of nowhere, and I now have somebody to talk to, and somebody who not only I can talk to them or talk to him, but he gets it because he's doing a lot of the same stuff that I'm doing. Well, he's doing a lot more. So I'm trying to catch up with Mike, and you guys will see. They've been saying for years, want to be like Mike. That's what I'm saying. So everybody help me welcome Mr. Michael Finkley.
Hello, hello, hello.
It's crazy when you have so much stuff going on, and when you text me about the issue that you was having, I was like, and then here I am with this informal podcast that's not really about anything. And he's probably like, I don't have time to do this shit today. Like, I don't. So I
listen.
Appreciate you so much for coming on, man.
I'm just to be here, sir. You thought about little old me.
I know.
Yes, Carolina. Thank you.
It's funny because we just finished Open Letter to a Survivor, so that it actually ended right at 8 o'clock. But then the members came in and they wanted to talk about some stuff, and I was like, oh well, Mike, he's running trying to get here. He's probably not even there yet. So I got a few minutes. I got a few minutes. So when I logged on and saw you sitting there, I'm like, oh shit. Okay. I was like, okay. But
here I am.
But listen, man, I appreciate you. You know, just like I said last week, I really appreciate you for coming on to the podcast. Like, I appreciate everything it is that you offer, just in terms of the friendship as a whole. But like, I look up to you because of all of the stuff that you're doing with your show, and of course, I've had the pleasure of being on the show. It's like being on Ellen. Like, I've had the.
I want to cry, but I have to laugh.
How many people are this excited when they come on your show? Like, how much feedback do you get after doing the show? And they're like, "Oh my god, I just loved it," and I loved it.
Is that a legit question?
It is.
Oh god. Well, you know what? Quite surprisingly, and I still get surprised about it. Like, I still get DMs even because I'm off season right now. I don't go back until next month. And so I'm
you still have like a 5-month sabbatical, like a vacation or whatever.
Yeah, I need it.
On the beach, you know?
this is some hard work here, you know. So I'm getting DMs or people going on my website and want to be on the show and that kind of thing. And I was like, yeah, but we're on break right now. We'll get back with you soon, right? So, but people are really excited about it, and that really surprises me, because they look at the platform and they're just excited even after the fact. Like I said this last week, a lot of the artists will say, "Thank you for asking meaningful questions," instead of just asking the same old type thing. So
why does that surprise you?
It just shows that, hey, I'm doing something right.
But why does it surprise you though?
It just does. It just does. It's like, I'm just little Michael Finkley, little country boy. I live on a dirt road.
I mean, I think, as crazy as it might sound to like the average person, it actually makes sense though. It's something about, like, when people are that excited, like it's something about getting that kind of praise and getting that kind of excitement for what you're doing. Like, you almost don't know if they're just being funny, and just like if they're being funny and it's not how they really feel, or I don't know. Like, I'm learning. Oh, go ahead.
I can tell the difference.
Yeah. I think you can, but I mean, I guess all of that to say, like, I'm learning to acknowledge and appreciate what it is that I do. Yeah. I don't think I really put enough. I don't think I really give myself like that grace and that praise, like, in terms of what I do and what I offer with my brand. And as much as I hear it, sometimes it just doesn't resonate. Like, there's certain publicists who I work with, and I mean, they literally send me everybody that they have, like big star, whatever. And it's like, sometimes I'm like, you know, you still question your worth and what it is that you do, and you obviously see all the big people, and you see the Sherrys, and you see the Tamarins, and you see the Kelly Clarksons and all of that stuff, and then it makes you question yours. Like, well, am I really offering something? But I'm learning to appreciate what it is that I do and what I offer, and I know that I'm offering something that people aren't getting, you know, that they're not getting in the typical platform.
It's the process. It's definitely. I feel like this past season I've begun that process. Yeah. Of like, I am doing it. Yeah. I am, but it's a continuous process. When I realized that I had the same people on as Tamron Hall and Sherry Shepherd and Jennifer Hudson, and I'm like, when they're on my platform and they're on, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. and really just, highlighting the fact that you were just at the Oscars and you just covered the Stellars. And I love the fact that, like, for this past few days or the past week or so, like, you've been posting a lot of your moments from the Stellar Awards. I had to text you on the one because I was I was just like,
when I tell you I hollered when I got your text.
I was just like, she get on my nerve. Like,
Man,
really?
I tell you.
Like, I don't know. So without saying a name, because I don't know if we want to just put the name out there, but still,
I don't do that.
Like I think I think it sends the wrong message to say, like, I'm not proud of myself. Like, what, like, I feel like it sends the wrong message. Love her to death. Listen, she could sing. I mean, obviously she could sing me under the table, but she could sing a whole hell of a lot of people under the table. Like, that voice is beautiful, but the man don't really work right sometimes. And I just was like, that was kind of the. I was like, I don't know, is she mad or and is she being like that with everybody? Because some people were like that though. When you get them on carpet and in those type of settings or whatever, some people are really like that. Like, they're condescending and and just all kinds of stuff. Like, they just say what, stuff off the top of their head, and they don't really think about the things that they're, how it comes off. And I don't know.
When I asked that question to it was I think Kim Burrell. When I asked the question,
because I know everybody's like, who the fuck is he talking about?
When I asked the question to Kim Burrell, I felt that she was speaking more so in the sense of her talent, her gift.
Yeah,
I was more looking in the sense of the person.
When I tell you, I was trying to read between the lines when she said it, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe she. No,
because I understand because she kind of cleaned up at the end. It's like, I still have more to do. I get it.
I get that. But you still have to be proud of the steps that you've made and what you've accomplished and how far you've come. And I mean, you could have worded it any kind of way, but to just say I'm not proud of myself, I'm like, well, damn, I don't know how to take that. I was like shaking on my nerve. I gotta text them right now.
Like, literally, because I think you can hear it in the video too when she was like, "No, I'm not proud of myself." You hear a lot of whoa, 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 like whoas in the room, like whoa, whoa, whoa.
I would have been like, whoa. Is she playing with me? Like,
because that's everybody off guard. Is like, whoa, yeah, whoa, okay. Oh, where's she going with this? It's the next thought.
Yeah, I thought the setup was really nice. I thought you recovered from it very well. It absolutely would have thrown me off a little bit had I been there and I asked her. She's like, I'm not proud of myself.
Yeah, I think it threw a lot of people off. Like, well, like then again, like the next thing was like, where is she going with this? Because remind you, it was still, she had just got off stage with her acceptance speech for winning the award, where she mentioned the LGBTQ plus community.
What did she say about us? Because I mean, last I heard, we was going to hell or something. What's this?
She said that she basically acknowledged the community and basically saying that, we have her, she loves going to this point of, we have her jargon. And it's not quite understood in some places, but we love and we're trying to expand and we're trying to welcome everyone. So let's give them all a big round of applause. I understood that aspect, but it was just in the wrong. Some of the other media people, we were just like when she was giving it, because we could actually see in the show, like, oh gosh. And I was like, I understand the concept, but wrong platform, especially at a Black gospel event.
That part, yeah.
Like, you could have went to your IG and
there's so many people in the gospel community, obviously, who are LGBTQ.
So still, at the end of the day, wrong platform.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I got it.
Because we're here to honor you and your work, not to
Yeah,
focus on anything else. And she brought it that way. So
absolutely. Um, yeah, that experience would have thrown me off a little bit. Like I think back to when I did an interview with Bun B from UGK,
mhm.
and kind of the same thing, but he ended up cleaning it up to basically to let me know or to help me understand that he really was just bullshitting and he really was playing. But like when I did the interview and like I started talking, like he started yelling at me, and it absolutely threw me off, and I was just like a deer in headlights, like uh, um, and then he's like, oh, I'm just bullshitting, man. I'm just kidding. I'm just and I'm like, but it kind of fucked the interview up for me though. But yeah, that would have thrown me off. But I do think it's cool. Like it's really nice to see the experiences that you had from the Stellar Awards and the different stuff that you posted. Like, is there a lot more for you to post or?
Yeah, there's a lot more.
Okay.
There's a lot more. That was in the media room. We have a lot more from the red carpet that we're going to post.
Yeah.
Just down the line. So yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like, and it's funny when you say the media room, that kind of takes me back to Essence Fest because they had like obviously they had like the carpets and all that different stuff, and they had different setups where certain people were, but then they had the media room where everybody filtered through the media room. So
Exactly. I want to go there with you one year.
listen, we should do next year. Like we should do next year.
Say less.
You didn't expect to hear that, but we should do next year.
Well, guide me through the process because you're the man when it comes to that.
So the credentialing process will start it normally starts in February.
Okay.
But they did start late this year. So I don't think they opened the credentialing up until maybe April.
Okay.
And I don't know what the issue was with that or whatever, but I plan on going next year. So the credentialing should start in February. And then it's kind of the same as with all the other platforms or whatever. Like they usually will have a website set up where you go in and you fill out all your information and take your picture or upload your pictures and all that stuff. And then it takes them however long. It might be 3 or 4 weeks and they'll get back to you and say, these are your credentials. I mean, 99% of the time they approve everybody. Well, I won't say everybody, but I mean, 99% of the time you get approved fairly quickly.
Gotcha.
And in the event, I have not been approved every year. So the years that I have not gotten approved, I can still go anyway. Because I mean, there's so much that you can do. Like realistically, the only thing you won't necessarily have access to is the media room. And then outside of that, at least with Essence Fest, most of the celebs, they generally walk the floor anyway and kind of go around and have booths set up and that kind of thing. So like ironically, the first year that I went and I had like all these credentials and could get into all of this stuff, I barely used them, except I think I did go into the media room one of the days. But then all the other interviews and pictures and stuff that I got was down on the floor. Just kind of with everybody. So and I usually, in a nutshell, I usually try to stay out of the media room and stay on the floor because that just kind of is where all the action is. Obviously, in the media room, a lot of people are filtering through there and you have like all the press people and all that stuff, but then you kind of miss everything that's happening on the floor and like the fanfare and all the different exhibits they have and the speeches that people are giving. And you miss a lot of that stuff if you're just kind of holed up in the media room. So, so whether I get approved or not, I'm sure I'll go anyway. So yeah, we have to go. I think that'll be a really good experience. I think that'll be a really good experience. So what's coming up for you? Like you did Stellar Awards, you went to the Oscars, so you didn't actually work it. You just went to the Oscars. What's coming up, or what else do you have happening now?
Right now, I'm preparing for season 8 of the Michael Finley Show.
What's that gonna look like?
Oh my goodness, you have an exclusive here. So we're back September 9th.
Okay. Wait a minute. You said you're back to who?
September 9th.
Oh, September 9th. I was gonna say every night. Okay, September 9th.
Gosh. You're trying to burn me out.
I knew you took 5 months off, but okay.
You're trying to burn me out. But no, September 9th,
Okay.
our Media Network, noon every Monday. So we're back with new and exciting interviews.
Okay.
More so in-person interviews this season. So we're excited about that.
So where are these in-person interviews taking place at? Like, do you have a studio now, or are you just going on location? Or
I'm going on location.
okay.
So different states. Get ready. Get ready. Now there still will be some virtual aspects as well, but majority this season we're trying to do in person. Just a different look, different feel. Some new segments are going to be coming as well. So still those cool questions, but some new segments are going to come out of those different questions. So we're excited about that. And
It's
we call
really, like it's so amazing. It's so amazing what you've done with your platform. Like it's crazy that when I invited you on to Transcending the Culture, I had only seen maybe a handful of shows. Like I don't know. I think I was receiving your emails. Now I don't know how the hell I got on your emails, but I was receiving your emails, and I'm like, I can remember I had been seeing them come through, and then I saw one particular email, and I'm like, I need to invite this guy on the podcast to see if he'll come on. And the first thing I thought was, he's probably gonna say no. He doesn't have time to do that sort of thing because he's just this big guy. Like he's doing all this stuff. He's not gonna have time. Or, one of my problems that I will say I'm starting to get better with it is that, well, we kind of talked about it. I second guess my worth and what it is that I'm doing. So a lot of times I'll reach out to people, but in my mind, I'm like, they're probably gonna say no. They're probably gonna say no. So it's like, in a sense, I'm kind of putting myself down. It's almost like I don't really believe in what I do, but I really do. Like, I know that I have a really good platform.
You do.
I have an amazing platform. I have to keep saying that. Now, I know I have an amazing platform. And, the biggest thing is that I love what I'm doing. And I truly believe that it shows when I have these conversations and I talk to people. Like, I'm trying to build relationships and, all that kind of stuff so I can get them back again. And, all that stuff. But I love what I'm doing, though. So I'm getting better, with really fully understanding that. And being proud of what I'm doing and really selling it. But I remember you coming on, and I'm like, okay, I got to keep up with this guy. Like, he's really doing some amazing things. And just looking at, being able to go back and look at all the past seasons and look at the history of it and just what you have been doing with it. Like, you've done some truly amazing things with the Michael Finkley Show. And when you really think about it, like, to me, you've never really seen anybody do this online where they have a talk show and, they're putting this out, whether it's every day or whether it's one day a week. You don't really see anybody else really doing this. And you have a legit talk show. Like, to me, it's no different than, the Sherry Shepherds and, the other shows that are out there, outside of the fact that it's virtual. Like, do you ever feel like you're at a disadvantage because of the fact that it's virtual?
No.
Okay, that's a good answer, because I'm learning more even with my own stuff, and now with me launching this radio station, like it makes even more sense for me to turn this room into a studio and just do it. Have a studio at home and do it. And if you look at many of the other DJs that are out there, like the Russ Parrs, who I got to get on one of the platforms too, because he's the reason that I am even in the media space, that I started in the media space, is Russ Parr. He has a home studio. So, like, the last few years of him doing the Russ Parr Show, he was doing it from home. And more people are getting into that space where they're broadcasting from home. Ricky Smiley does it a lot. Um, and some of the other people will do it too.
Mhm.
Like you see their videos on YouTube. Some of them might be in the studio, and then it'll flash to the Brett, and she's at home, or Gary is at home,
Yep.
or like even right now with the Breakfast Club, which just hilarious because she's on maternity leave. She is,
Mm-hmm. He's home.
and obviously they did this kind of stuff back in the day with Wendy, when she was having her baby, but it's more prevalent now. Like more people are really getting into it. So just like you said, I don't feel like it's a disadvantage. I honestly feel like it's more of an advantage.
It
Um,
is. It is
because,
because even with the guests that you have, you look at daytime television, they only have like 10, 15 minutes to talk, maybe even sometimes. But with our shows, we can talk however long we want to.
absolutely.
And they express, they share more.
Yeah. And not just that, but I find it easier to get people because it's virtual. So they can kind of do it from wherever they are.
That part too.
Because just about everybody that we bring on these platforms, they're on their phones.
Mhm.
When it like you can be wherever you need to be, and do this and just make sure that there's no noise around and that sort of thing, and it all goes off without a hit. So I feel like it's more of an advantage.
Yeah. Going back to something you said before, um, it really put one of my former guests, he was talking to one of his good friends,
Okay.
Tony Rock, of
Okay.
course, Rick Rock's brother. And I had him on the show, not Tony, but his friend.
Yeah.
And he would express it, and Tony said, "Yeah, I got to get ready for the Michael Vinckley show." He's like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "When did you fly out?" He's like, "What?" He's like, "When did you fly out to California to be on the show?" He's like, "No, it's kind of like it's a virtual aspect." He's like, "Oh," he's like, "With a name like that, I thought that you would be in the studio with an audience and something to that magnitude." And I was like, for people not to even who haven't even watched the show to
Yeah.
say something like that, it's like we're on a good track
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Now,
Uh,
something I would like to be able to do, and I don't know if you've ever thought of this. I want to figure out a way, like how they did, like during the pandemic, they had like the virtual walls, like where people were at home and that sort of thing.
mhm.
I want to create something like that online, to where you can actually see the viewers. I mean, because you can obviously see them in the chat room and all that kind of stuff, but
Mhm.
I like a virtual wall. Like I want to be able to do something like that online, to where maybe it opens up in another window or something like that,
Mhm.
and you can see. I think that would be so dope. Like I think that would be so dope.
Are you trying to figure it out?
Absolutely, absolutely. You sound like you know.
Oh, no, 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 no. I'm just like, it's your idea. You try to figure it out. I was like, okay, tell
I
me
mean,
where you
did
get.
you? I'm like, you look like you know how to do it or something. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you did because
No,
you're Michael
no,
Bigley.
no, no, sir. You have to understand, your shows are live, so I feel that worked well for you.
Oh, don't
Mine,
remind me.
mine are
Don't
not.
don't remind
I'm
me.
too scary to go live.
Listen, do you know how scared I was to go live when I first started when I first started doing this?
Mm-mm.
I was like, it's hard to believe. What's really hard to believe is that I've only been doing live broadcasts since it's been a year, August of last year. Yeah, August of last year. I've only been doing live broadcasts since then, and I was so nervous since that's why me and I think that's partly why me and the first co-host on the Transcendent Culture we didn't work out because I was just like, this shit is like, I'm like, what the fuck? Like for real, for real? Is this what it is? And she was just so comfortable, and I'm like, whoa. And we would have these conversations after the shows like your face looks like like this is just not desirable. um should probably smile a little bit. and and I'm like, but I was smiling. I'm like, I was smiling. it just it didn't work out. So it's hard to believe that it's been a year now, but I've gotten so much more comfortable with it. I'm not super comfortable with doing IG live yet, but this is
I'd rather do that than this.
huh?
I'd rather do that than this.
That's weird, but I'm getting there though. But no, I'm enjoying this. I like doing the live shows. And like I said, I definitely feel like doing this whole virtual thing, in a sense, really puts us at an advantage, because there's so much more that we can pull off because it's being done virtually. So I'm working on obviously trying to pull some things together, and I definitely want to get that virtual wall thing going, or that video wall thing going. And I'm gonna figure that out. I'm definitely gonna figure it out, and then clue you in on that. But
Okay.
what's the laugh for?
I'm like, will I ever use it?
Probably not. Like you got so much stuff going for yourself though. So
I don't do live.
do you want to do live?
No. Well, I take that back.
Never.
Maybe.
I'm like that could be like a little, like
no.
a treat. Like, hey, we're gonna have a live guest. I don't know how you fit it. I don't know how you do that, but you're like, no, I don't want to do that. What scares you about live?
I guess I like the control of it all.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
No, I get it. That makes sense.
Because I want it to flow, and yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think I've done really good with managing to kind of keep everything together and keep it flowing, and all of that stuff with doing the live shows. For the most part, I think it actually goes pretty well for me. So season 8, September 9th. Can we have any details on people you got coming up? Have you done some of these interviews already? Like what's happening?
No interviews as of yet. They're in the works. They're in the works. We have some in the next few weeks. Not gonna give anything away right now. I want to be surprised. Really, no.
Okay.
No. But I can tell you this: season 8, we were calling the season of dreams.
Okay, why?
I'm so glad you asked. So, of course, my single, Biggest Dream Come True. So we're actually in time with the song, which is
I was gonna say like that single, but go ahead.
the ultimate. Yeah, it's our theme song for the show. And then it coincides with the book that we just wrote as well, Biggest Dreams Come True. So
Okay.
yeah, so we're asking those those questions again, but we want to focus on the dream aspect. We're actually, I can tell you this as well. We're going to be more active on social media, not just on Mondays, but throughout the week. So Wednesdays we have a special segment that we're going to do as well, dedicated to pursuing your dreams. So we're excited about that.
Okay.
And then on Monday evenings, we're going to recap our shows. So we're going to go on IG Live every Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to do some lives. So like after the show, right?
Okay.
On social media. So yeah.
More
of a presence.
Here's a question. Will you ever have a guest on there with you on the live?
You may be surprised.
That sounds like a yes. How the hell do I get back on the show? I guess I have to be doing something noteworthy.
No, first of all, you're my friend, and you always have an open invitation. So whenever you're ready, you're like, Finkley, let's go. Then we talk about it. Bing, bada, boom.
I need to get on season 8. Like, I need to this is going to be the ultimate season. Like, that's really dope. Like, so Mondays will be on at noon. You'll do a recap in the evenings on Mondays, and then you have your special segment that's going to be on Wednesdays. Like, that's really huge. That's really huge. That's a big blast for season 8.
It is. It's something that we've never done before. So we're trying it out, and we're excited about it. We're excited about it. So why not? Why not?
Absolutely. So this is all centered around the ultimate dream.
Yeah. Season
What
of Dreams.
what was your dream? Because obviously you've become this big time media person. I think you've become this big time media person, but the dream had to be
Okay, I accept it.
it
I
had to
accept
be bigger than that.
I
Like
accept it. I accept it.
accept it, but it had to be bigger than that though. Like what was your dream,
To
or do
help
you
people.
feel like you have fulfilled your dream yet?
No.
Okay.
No. Because as long as I'm here, there's still people to be helped. I use my platform as for persons to get their words out, right? Their point out, their opinions out, their stories out, to encourage and inspire others. So there's so many more people to interview. There's so many more people to talk to. There's a lot more relationships to be made. So no, still got a lot more to do.
What, like, kind of going back to like feedback that you have gotten from the show, what has been the one piece of information that you've gotten back that kind of solidified it for you and said, this is it, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, like I've really helped somebody?
There's so many. Um, like literally, there's so many. Um, I have one guest that calls me Oprah 2.0. I have another guest, that's like, you're good at this and you ask probing questions. I'm like, well, I get it from you because I go off vibe.
Right.
I go off vibe of the conversation. Like if a person's coming on and we're talking about their latest project, movie, book, whatever, I'll jot down a few, you know, fragments of sentences here and there. But anything else is off the cuff because that's what I feel, and I'm definitely an empath. So that's what
But you
I'm
realize, like, it takes a special kind of person in media to be able to maneuver in that way. Like
oh
you
yeah,
have some people, like it takes a special person to be able to maneuver in that way and to be able to host red carpets where you're kind of like off the cuff and like people are just walking up to you out of nowhere and you got to know what's going on and know what to ask them. You got to be able to go off a vibe and spirit, and like you got to be able to pick up on all of that stuff in a matter of seconds. And
exactly.
it's a special person to be able to do that. So like when I say like you're amazing at what you do, like you really, really, really are. Like even the Stellar Award stuff and seeing the clips, and like it takes a lot to be able to do that because there's so much outside noise around you and just so much so much stuff going on that any of that stuff can really take your mind away and make you forget stuff and that sort of thing. So you have to be like a charismatic and a personable person to be able to do this. So
Thank you, thank you. It's funny you say that. When I was actually walking into the venue for the Stella Awards, I was just minding my business, literally just minding my business as I always do, and
I've never known you to do that, but go ahead.
I'll talk to you later. But anyway, but I was minding my business, and this artist was like, this person was just doing this, and I thought I was doing it for the person behind me or something. As I got closer, the artist was like, "Hey, Finkley." I'm like, "Oh, hey!" It was my good friend Angel Taylor from Trinity 57. I'm like, "Hey, how are
Right.
you?"
Right.
She's like, "I thought that was you crossing the street." And I was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, she started asking questions. Had a cool conversation for that short period of time. And what really got me was she was like, "Yeah, I'm just waiting on my Uber. I need to go back to the hotel and get dressed. I'm waiting on my Uber." Your Uber? What?
Yeah. Yeah.
So after that, she was like, "Let me know where you're on the carpet. Just call me. Call me and let me know where you're on the carpet." I'm like, "Okay, cool. I will." So it's just like you walk in still and people still, "Hey, Finkley." Like, oh my gosh, you know me. You know me.
Right.
Wow.
Like how does that feel to see somebody and they're like, I thought that was you coming across the street. Like what is that feeling for you?
It's like people get it. People are watching. People are noticing. They notice you. They know who you are.
Yeah.
And I feel that's a cool thing. You know, not just to say I know you, but in the
Right.
sense of like literally me and Angel, we have conversations off the grid of how's
Yeah.
life, how was
Yeah.
your husband, and you know how's we may talk about the industry, but it's like how are you, like how are you doing?
Yeah.
So people really cling to that when you're
I
really
think that's
genuine and care.
I think that's like one of the biggest takeaways that I've had. Um, and I mean, it's no secret. Like I've been fascinated by celebrity life really my entire life. So
Mhm.
that
Really?
kind that kind of thing has like really like it excites me. Like to go and do different events or whatever, and I'll see people, and it's like, hey, and it's like they know you, and you can have like a regular conversation that's
Yeah.
about everything but what it is that they're doing. Like I think it's really dope. Did you get to talk to Erica Campbell?
I did not because I saw her on the red carpet on the blue carpet, and she was literally um like she was rushing. She's like, oh, gotta go, gotta go. I love you all, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. So no, I didn't I did not, but I'm working on that.
Okay, we actually got a question down here. Is that exciting? We actually got a question down here. Who was your most memorable person you interviewed, Michael?
Oh, I said this all the time. Oh, it is still choking me up. Okay, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna do it. Okay. Oh, Lavelle Crawford.
Okay.
Lavelle Crawford. And I say this because not for what he is in the industry, the person that he is.
Yeah.
Um, we were just talking, and he revealed to me that once he finishes comedy, he wants to start a church and save souls. I
Wow.
was never expected that hearing that from him.
Right.
I was never expected hearing that from him. And then, but yeah, that's what he said. And it just put me, and he said some other things in the interview that really just, changed my perspective of him and also my own life. I'm like, well, good Lord, I got to do better for myself. So, but yeah, I feel that's one of them. Another one was with Anthony Dalton II,
Okay.
who is on Tyler Perry's Sisters. He
Right.
has done other things with Tyler Perry and that kind of thing. And he said that he was in a very, very bad state in life. Parents had passed away, that kind of thing, and mom had just passed, and he
Okay.
was thinking of taking his own life, literally. And but he found out that he was going to be a dad. So literally, he always says that his son saved his life.
Right. Wow.
These are the conversations we're having on the Michael Finkley
Yeah.
show.
Yeah. I mean, like that's dope, and it's cool to be able to get that. Like I think back, like some of my most memorable conversations. Faith Evans. I just thought she was like, I just thought it was super dope.
I
You know,
remember you telling me about it.
like, just like people being down to earth and like you just feeling like you can really get something from them. I mean, obviously, I was like this crazy, not fanatic, but like I was a big fan of her. It's just weird that when her first album came out, I actually didn't really like it.
hmm
Um, but I think too, like that was 95. So like I was super young. I was 18. Like, what the fuck did I know about love and like all of this stuff? So I mean it I can't stand you, man. But I don't know. Like it didn't resonate with me. So like I
hmm
wasn't even necessarily feeling the album. And then I gave it to my sister. And I know my sister used to play it like crazy. And then I ended up going to work for Cedar Point. So that's like our big amusement park here in that's our big amusement park here in Ohio. So
hmm
I went to go work out there, and I just remember like being in this state of like loneliness and depression, and that album is what got me through it. So like I can remember like Cedar Point, it sits on an island. So it was like if you wanted to go to like it's in Sandusky. So if you wanted to go to downtown Sandusky, you had to take a ferry and all that stuff. So I could remember like spending days just riding the ferry back and forth and listening to that album like in my headphones and like all of that stuff. So obviously from there I followed her and just kept listening to her music and all that stuff. And then wanted to interview her and I finally got the opportunity to do that. And it was just like, wow, like when you meet that person who you kind of idolize or you're like a big fan of them and then they turn out to be who you thought that they were, that was just like the icing on the cake. So she probably is one of my most memorable. And then Angela Robinson from the Haves and from Tyler Perry's The Haves and the Have Nots. Like she did the first cover of my magazine. And I was just like, man, she don't know me from a hole in the wall. Like I'm just anybody. And she drew the cover of my magazine. And that was just like, and of course I watched the show at that time and she was like one of my favorite characters. So then that was just like, God damn, I'd have made it. Like I'd have did something in this world.
Well, the price done went up. Listen.
Right. And
The
then when
price
I
went up.
did Essence Fest, ran into her at Essence Fest, and it was just like, I was like, I'm over it. Like I'm just over it now. Like so between her and Faith, and then like there's been a number of other people who I've interviewed who kind of hit that light switch, like how Lavelle Crawford did for you, like Coco Brown. Like when I tell you, anytime she comes to Cleveland, like she'll do whatever platform that I have. All I got to do is ask, and she's like, "I'm there, where I need to be." Um, her and it's a number of people, but no, I think that's really really dope. And I never would have knew that or thought that of Lavelle Crawford. So like that's really dope, and it's cool when you can get kind those kind of things out of people because they don't share that kind of stuff with anybody. Like
Exactly.
yeah, like a lot of times, when they do a lot of the mega platforms and stuff like that, they only go and they share certain stuff and they kind of have like their bullet points for their
Exactly.
people
Story.
we need to talk about and blase. But then when they get on a platform like yours, like they just kind of spill the beans, like, oh my God, I've been waiting to get here. Like this is what I want to do. Like
And
that's dope.
and this is another cool thing too. That's why I love him so much. I actually got to see him in person at a comedy club, and when he was outside when it was done, I went up to him and I'm like, "Hi, Lavelle." He looked at me. He was like, "Hey, Michael Finkley, how are you?"
Right, right.
I love that he would start apologizing. He's like, "I'm so sorry I hadn't got back in touch with you. I saw the emails and the phone calls. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry I've been on the road." I'm like, "I get it. It's okay."
Yeah.
And the cool part about it, that's what I always tell people too, that I may not have the biggest following. I may not have all the viewers, but what we bring to this industry is
Absolutely.
influence. And so
Absolutely.
what happened was after we had our interview together, he posted my interview with him on his website. I'm the only podcast, social media talk show platform like that on his website.
And see, that's amazing. Like those are
Influence.
influence. Those are the things that you can look at that tell you that this is where you need to be and this is
Yeah.
what you need to be doing. And like that's God sent. Like
Yeah.
that's real. I think that's really dope because it helps you and your confidence too to know that like you have something that's truly viable. Like
Exactly.
and people love it. Um, and on top of that influence, you have an organic following of people who like they ain't going no damn where. Whatever you do, like they're gonna be behind you, and like
Always.
that's
Always.
unheard of.
I love them. They're family. I love it.
Big fan. So like I think I think it's truly amazing. I got like a whole string of questions for you. Um, what's the most important lesson you've learned in this industry?
Be yourself.
Bingo.
Be yourself. When I first started this, I thought I had to be like Oprah. I thought I had to be like Tamron. I thought I had to be like Maury, Sally Jesse Raphael, going all the way back. But it's okay to be me. It's okay
No,
to be me, and
absolutely.
I'm here for it because I can't I can't give you Oprah, but I promise you I can deliver Finkley.
I think that's I think that that's amazing advice for anybody watching, and it feeds into me too because I've only been in that space maybe for the last couple years, maybe the last few years, where I'm like, I'm me and this is what I do, and nobody can do what I do, and I'm not doing what they do, and that's what sets me apart. And I'm not dealing with competition. I don't have any competition because I'm me. And like I've only been in that space for like the last few years. It takes a long time to get there. Um, you've been doing this, and correct me if I'm wrong. It's only been a few years for you, right? 3 years. So I knew that, but then I'm like, he's on season 8, so I must have that wrong somewhere.
No, you don't.
3 years
Four.
or 4 years.
4 years.
This show is titled The Blackprint. What is the Blackprint for you in terms of getting to this level where you are 8 seasons in, doing such amazing work in only 4 years? The talk show, the big talk shows don't do this, or the bigger talk shows don't do this. 4 years, 8 seasons, 8 successful seasons. That's what we should say.
Yeah, I
Like
didn't know.
how does one do that? And they're new to media at that time.
Not to give up. Many a times I did because I didn't feel like people were watching or they were getting it or they weren't watching. But as I learned, I just began to trust. First of all, trust God, um, and then trust the process behind it because this is a process.
Absolutely.
I was talking with one of my major contacts in social media, and he's this guru when it comes to business. And he's like, "Yeah, my 100th video, I will post and post and post, and but one video, that 100th video went viral." I'm like, okay. So when I first started, I'm like, all I had to do was make 100 videos, and then 101 would go viral. Yeah. So I'm still waiting for that viral moment.
Right.
But no, it's like I said, the influence. And so when people come to you and say, "I love this show," or "That really touched me," or "That made a difference. I'm going to do this now. I'm not afraid to follow my dreams." When I have those conversations with people, it's like, okay, I'm a fan to the Think fam. I am famous within the Think fam. People see me in the Think fam as this famous person and this influencer, and that holds responsibility.
Yeah.
I'm responsible for that now. And so now I have to continue the charge of not only motivating them and inspiring them, but also me in the process too.
I have been, I guess it's kind of weird, but I've never really been obsessed, or I won't say obsessed, but I've never really been driven by kind of having like that viral moment where,
Mhm.
where I go viral with a post or that sort of thing. I've always been more driven like by building like the organic fan base who I know is going to follow me with whatever I do. And I know that I have an organic following,
Mhm.
um,
Yeah.
primarily because I'm launching all these different platforms. And, obviously I'm doing radio and I'm doing podcasting and I'm still doing the magazine. And I'm doing like, there's so much that I'm doing. And people continue to follow me. And I post and people, they follow back and they comment back. And um, obviously, it's not millions or anything like that, but I feel like I have a true following who's kind of following me around with everything it is that I'm doing. And that's all I ever really wanted. Like, I feel like if I get like the viral following, I feel like that ultimately will go away at some point.
And it does.
Yeah.
It really does. I had a video. It wasn't even part of the show. It was like one of my favorite sitcoms, and I posted it about this moment in the sitcom, and I posted, and it is shut off. It went viral. It literally, I hit 1.6 million views with that one video. But what I did was I included my logo on this viral video. So now people are like, who was this Michael Finkley? Who was this Finkley? Because it's been shared thousands upon thousands of times. So now the name of the brand is out there. So that whole viral aspect does go away. But like you said, those true hardcore, we're here, we're gonna ride with you till the wheels fall off, and then we're gonna ride with you some more, you know. They're still there. And I appreciate my family so much. The big fam. I appreciate them so much.
Absolutely.
I do.
Take me 5 years into the future. Where is Michael Finkley?
I'll be 40.
Okay. I don't know why I didn't think you were that old, but okay.
Oh, you thought I was?
I mean 30, but I didn't think 35.
I am.
Listen, let me tell you, who says that? What's her name? Why can't I think of her name? She always said it gets greater later.
Beverly
Betty Mitchell. What Betty
Smith?
That's
Sherry's song.
Yeah, when I tell you, I want Sherry so bad. I really want Kim Whitley, but I want Sherry too.
I want Sherry. I want John Murray as well.
Absolutely, I do want John Murray.
John Murray.
I do. But yeah, when I tell you that I share those sentiments that Betty, that she really speaks on, it absolutely gets greater later. I am 47 tomorrow. What is that? In 2 hours and I don't know, 38 minutes. I will be 40.
Early birthday.
Thank you so much. And I'm just happy, like, to be at this place in my life. I mean, obviously, I'm still grinding and hustling and trying to make it do what it do and all of that kind of stuff. But that's it, Bevy Smith. I'm like Bevy something.
I said Smith.
You probably did, and it didn't catch. I'm like Bevy something. I don't know, but
I know I said her name.
You did. Okay, I'll give you that. Calm down. I'll give you that. But but it absolutely gets greater later. Like I feel like I'm doing some amazing things.
You are
with this platform.
Just continue.
Oh yeah. Listen, I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. So 5 years from now, you will be 40.
I will be 40. I still want to make an impact in people's lives. No, I love it. Chocolate cake, I love it.
It is just so amazing. I love you, Kat. Kat was at the bar last night and told me come. I almost stopped up there, Kat. It was like 2:30. And I said she probably gone back to Akron. But so yeah, so you'll be 40, and what will you be doing? What's going to be going on with the Michael Finkley show?
It will still be here.
Absolutely.
As long as there's some people to talk to. We may be on a network by then. We may have formed our own network. You probably see us definitely more on social media, but also on the big screen as well within any type of network out there. Okay. But again, the message won't stop. We're here to spread the wealth of knowledge and influence and positivity. That message won't stop because we need to see more of it. I despise watching the news at times because it's just so negative.
Absolutely.
You see it on the phone, you see it on social media. So platforms that bring that positive aspect, I'm going to be one of them. I'm still going to be here. If you don't call me home before then, I'm still going to be here doing this. Yeah.
What is the one message you feel like you want to get out there to people, regardless of what they're doing, whether they want to do this or I mean, it could be any field or anything that they're really trying to do. What's that one message that you feel like you want to get out to people who are watching you or who watch your platform?
Just do it.
I like that.
That's like Nike always just do it. I'm gonna do it.
Absolutely.
I always tell my best friend, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, just do it. Like you're gonna run into yeses, you're gonna run into no's, you're gonna run into not right now,
Mhm.
um, maybe later, but just do it. And you can't say that it's hard if you never started. Like literally to this day, like the whole aspect of me talking with people, that's the easy part for me. But the process of getting sponsors and uh,
Yeah.
all the other stuff that goes along with it, money for the show,
Oh my God. Yes.
that's like the SATs for me.
Yeah.
And I don't like it because I didn't
Yeah.
pick it. Yeah. Listen, so that's the hard part for me.
Yeah.
And I can't, but I still have to muscle up the courage and just say, I'm going to ask, even though I'm not, I hate rejection. I hate rejection.
Yeah. I do
Oh
too.
my gosh, I hate it. And so I made a pledge to myself this, especially for this season, to go even harder when it comes to that, because I am tired of going into my own wallet, into
Yeah.
my bank account.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that believe in the show, and it's like, okay, let's go. Hey, let's come on, support us,
Yeah.
support.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm in that place where now I'm starting to get into those rooms and starting to talk to people and
Yeah,
ask. Yeah, it sucks. I don't like it either.
I tell you this, I interviewed, um, and we still keep in contact. I interviewed a billionaire,
Okay.
a whole billionaire. He has created workshops in overseas, in the states. He's a part of form his own academy. Like this man got money on top of money, but he loves the show because he sees guests to the show.
Yeah.
We'll email each other back and forth. He sent me his latest project that he's
Okay.
working on, and I was like, "Whoa, he really likes what I'm doing."
It's
Right?
cool to build those kind of relationships, from these.
Exactly, exactly. But now it's just like, okay, and just one day I'm just going to ask him out of curiosity. If someone like you could fund my show, what would that look like and sound like? Right?
Right.
Just having those in-depth conversations
Right.
because I don't know if I don't ask.
Right. No, I get it.
Thank you for that. I need to talk that out because now I have a phone call to make this week. But yes,
No, I get it. Like that, it makes it. It obviously makes sense to ask, but sometimes you're in that space where you're like, I don't want to ask, or no, I
right.
get. Yeah, I get it.
But because
Um,
my thing is building relationships and connections, and I don't want to burn any bridges along the way, because you never know, right, what the future holds. So I never know. But what I'm learning in the process as well is,
oh,
hey,
you see
uh,
that comment?
y'all gonna make me cry because it's not a pretty sight. Um, but what I'm learning in the process as well, though, is you're not asking for any type of negativity or you're just asking out of knowledge,
Right.
right? And you already have that connection with them anyway, so why not just ask?
Yeah.
Why not just
I'm
ask?
learning. I've learned, but I'm still learning that you get what you ask for.
Exactly.
Uh, you absolutely get what you ask for, and if you don't ask, you're not gonna get it. So yeah, you definitely have to make it a point to have that conversation and obviously do it in a tactful way, in a tactful and professional way. But you definitely got to have that conversation. And like I said, I'm really just now starting to get myself or to put myself in those rooms where I'm now asking for sponsors and advertisers and that sort of thing, and just figuring out what that looks like on my end too, like when I get people to advertise, then what am I actually including in the package. And of course it makes it a little bit easier with me doing the podcasting piece and doing the radio station piece and, having the magazine, I can run ads in the magazine or in those issues. And then, we can have obviously audio ads for the radio station and that sort of thing and getting drops and all of that stuff. Like it's so much that goes into it. Um, yeah, definitely so much that goes into it. But I think that you do amazing though. And just like Kat just said, like I really share a lot of the same sentiment. Like I'm really grateful to be learning from you. And that's really how I base my relationships and like how I determine who I'm going to be around and who I'm going to converse with and have these conversations with and, you know, talk to like that. Who I'm going to have in my circle ultimately is based on if I can learn anything from them or if I can teach them anything.
So let me ask you this question.
Go ahead.
What have you learned from me?
Huh?
What have you learned from me?
Honestly, I've learned to keep going. Like even in this past year, when I tell you how many times I've just wanted to say, you know what, fuck it, I'm done. Like I'm over this shit. But I'm looking at the stuff that you're doing, and I think just realizing that you're really facing a lot of the same struggle that I'm facing. You know, whether it's getting people for the show, or getting people to invest, or getting advertisers, having the time and the balance to pull a lot of this stuff off. Like when I had the change in the co-host before I brought Tiffany and Cat Queen, before I had the conversation with them and everything, and then the last co-host kind of went AWOL. I was just like, all right, I'm done with this shit. Maybe it's not for me. Because again, remember I hadn't really been doing like I had done no lives, I had done no YouTube, like I was just kind of new to it all. So, just picking up on stuff that other people were doing, stuff that I should be doing, stuff that I shouldn't be doing. And then obviously when that happened, I was just like, okay, I'm kind of done with this shit. Like I don't know, I don't think I'm gonna do it anymore. So much of me wanted to stop and just not do it anymore. But then I'm like, I just had Mike Finkley on the show. I'm like, it was a really good episode. Like the show went really good. And I could tell just from the conversation, like almost like how you just explained to me that this billionaire, like he likes your show. Like he really likes it. Or like the Lavelle Crawford and how he loves your platform and he posted it on his website. Like the conversation that I had with you or that we had with you, like my takeaway from that was, wow, he really appreciates this platform and transcending the culture. And I feel like we are really fucking doing something. But going into the interview, I was like, I don't know what the fuck we doing. And I'm surprised he even came on the show. And like, you be putting yourself down. And a lot of times you kind of create shit in your head that's just not really reality. Mm-hmm. And it's stuff that you have put together. And now you think it's what the other person is saying. Like you do it a lot. So my takeaway from that conversation with you and the conversation with Malcolm Bowen and like all of the people that we had on like that first season, like in the very beginning, it was like, okay, shit, we really got something. Like the first episode, we had Camila from 702. Mm-hmm. Really, really dope. Brandon got me Mila. But the cool thing is like I've done several things with Mila because of Brandon. Like so I've been doing media stuff with Mila probably since 2015, maybe. Like I went down to Griffin, Georgia, and she was in a play, and like I did red carpet with her down there, and then I interviewed her before just for the magazine, and like I just like that was an amazing interview, and it just told me that okay, man, you really doing something. Like this is really, really dope. Like people like you make me excited about what it is that I'm doing. So like I cherish that and I hold on to that because in this business, you're not gonna get that with a lot of people. Like it's highly competitive. Even the YouTube space is highly competitive, and everybody is like biting at each other and trying to be the first one to go viral and to have all of the views. And I'm like, while I probably should really care about that shit, I really don't. Like, I just want to know that I'm reaching somebody and that I'm helping somebody and that they're actually getting something from it. Like I don't care about all the other shit. I don't. Like I don't care about all the other shit. So that in itself makes me different than the rest of the people that's out here. And I think that's the thing that comes across to people that I bring on the show and that I bring on different platforms and whatnot is that man, this dude really give a fuck about what it is that he doing. Like he really, really care. Like I'm very particular about who I bring on the platform. And yeah, I probably had some people on here that are on the different platforms that I probably shouldn't have did shit with. But I am still picky about who I bring on the platform. So there's many people who I've turned down and who I just don't reach out to because it's just like when you get into doing this kind of stuff, it's really about building a brand. And you have to figure out the kind of brand that you're trying to build. And then if that person is into the brand, and a lot of them don't. Like as much as you think that they want good press and good media coverage, a lot of them don't. A lot of them want like the crazy shit. A lot of them want that because they want to go viral. And I don't give a fuck about that. But my takeaway from you, and I guess kind of what you just said too, like just do it. Like just do it. Quit complaining. If this is what you like to do, then just fucking do it and quit complaining. And it's gonna be what it's gonna be. And I've had to tell myself that sometimes, like, just do it and quit playing. Like if this is what you want to do, then this is what it's gonna be. So is this what you want to do? And at the end of the day, this is what I want to do. I would not have left my job that was paying very well to just do this if was not what I wanted to do. And it's not about it's never been about the money piece of it. I mean, if it was really about the money piece of it, either I wouldn't be doing it or I would be a millionaire. So so that's it. So that's been my takeaway. That is what I have gotten from
I have no words.
I mean, shit. I just gave you a 5-minute explanation. I don't know what can you say.
I have no words. But it's just so good to it's so good to hear. Like it says, like because sometimes you feel like everything is
Well,
my work's not in vain.
Big thing too, though. And I'm sorry I cut you. That's been a big thing for me too, though. Is people need to hear it.
Yeah.
They need to hear it because we and I'll even go so far as to say that we as Black people, we don't say thank you enough. We don't tell people that we love them. We don't tell them that we care. We don't tell them that they're doing an amazing job and that I'm really getting something from this and I really appreciate you. Like we don't say it enough. And that's the reason why so many of us are discouraged with the shit that we're doing because nobody has really given us praise where the praise is due. So yeah, that's all I wanted to throw.
No, and like just like you learn from me, I learned from you. And when I first met you, I'm just like, whoa, this dude has been in this industry for how long? I'm like, I know he has crazy stories, crazy connections. And every time I talk with you, I learn a little bit more. I know you can't say everything all at once, but I learn a little bit more. And from what I learn about you, I can revisit those different areas and kind of put them and make it Finkley way a little bit. So keep talking because
I've had some crazy experiences too. On the interview side. I've had some pretty crazy experiences on the interview side. And it's I think in the moment it was like, oh shit, just this ain't what I signed up for. But looking back at it, it's like, no, this is cool. It's kind of cool to have had these experiences and just to, really experience what this whole business has to offer and whatnot. I've been able to learn a lot. I mean, definitely from people like you, but there's a number of artists who I've been able to really take away a lot from and learn a lot from and actually build friendships with and relationships with where we'll reach out and how are you good, are you okay, and that sort of
Mhm.
thing, where it's nothing about the business and whatnot. So I love this all. I wouldn't do anything else. Like this is absolutely like this is the passion, the purpose, and the passion. So I wouldn't do anything else. So that's it, man. Well, listen, I am super grateful for you coming back a second week. I'm not gonna do this to you anymore. I mean, because just like me, I know your days are long. Like you have long days and you have a lot of different things that go on through the day. So like this time of night, it's time to sit down and relax and chill and kind of take your mind off of everything else that's going on. And even with you being on hiatus or vacation or whatever you want to call it, you still been working. So, I do appreciate you, taking this time out on this Sunday evening.
Yes, you're
And
welcome.
really wanted to get this done and, get this done and really get this out to people.
You're welcome. Thank you for just, I guess, again, thanking the little me. I really appreciate it, sir. I really
Yeah.
do.
I
Um,
just thought this would be like, and I thought you were perfect for the platform, but my mind runs a little crazy. So, I come up with ideas for platforms and the average person is like, what? And I'm like, this is really dope just to kind of get into somebody's mind and just really talk about a lot, but nothing, but a lot. And it don't have to be scripted. It don't have to be like, we just having a conversation. And these are people that I know and people who are experiencing the same things that I'm experiencing. And, we can offer resources to the people who are looking. Um, I just thought it would be really, really cool. And with me having this podcast network, and when I tell you I'm learning as I go and learning along the way, like I am learning along the way. Like there's some things that I absolutely know how to do, which I just have not done yet because it's time consuming. Like so much of this is so time consuming and it takes up so much time in your day. And with me juggling so many things, it gets a little bit difficult. But like all of the podcast platforms, I'm actually pushing them out to the audio versions. I'm pushing out to iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, so
mhm,
all of the streaming platforms. So then they will be able to download the audio of
I love
these
it.
podcasts on
Love it.
all of those platforms. And I've known how to do it because I've had podcasts on those platforms before. I
Mhm.
just it's just time consuming because actually the first radio show that I did, we were based in South Carolina, and I did it for about I don't know 4 years, 5 years.
Mhm.
Um, the PR person who kind of handled everything, she just abruptly passed away. So that was kind of like the last of me doing the show because the owner of the station then ended up shutting the station down. But um, but yeah, so that show, I just kind of, and this is kind of one of the things that lets me know, okay, I really am that nigga. Is that what I be thinking sometimes? But in the midst of me doing that show, I started digging and researching, and I'm like, how do I get my show on these platforms? And I ended up putting the radio show on iTunes and Spotify and
Mhm.
all that stuff. So I've known how to do it probably for close to 10 years. So I'm gonna now start pushing all these platforms up on those platforms. So that'll be a little way to kind of make some change and you know. So
Well,
I'm looking at all of the things that I can do now to really monetize so that of course, with transcending the culture, like, the three of us can be making something off of it, but then everybody that's doing podcasts on the network, they'll do their own stuff to kind of make some, make some money with their podcast, but then I can do some things that will kind of help them make a little bit of change and that sort of stuff. So yeah, so that's kind of what it's all about for me, is really just building my brand and building my empire so that this can carry me till death. Like I don't want to do nothing else. I don't want to work for nobody else no more. I don't want to hit nobody's clock ever again. And I'm almost 3 years in of not hitting nobody's clock. And when I tell you that sometimes it'd be like, maybe I need to go get a little part-time gig from go back to Amazon for a little bit or something. But I'm pushing it, man. Like this is like, for me, this is what it's all about. So I'm really, and it's got to be purpose and passion. If I'm like, no, I'm good, I'll figure it out. But listen, it is what it is. But I love what I'm doing. I truly, truly, truly appreciate you for tonight. I was going to say any kind of final words you may have, but then I also want you to plug, obviously, your social media and where people can find you, and let everybody know when the show is back once again, and how they can get all that information.
Oh, of course, of course, of course. So final words, as I always end my shows: pursue your dreams, pursue your dreams, pursue your dreams. I'm telling you, because someone's out there waiting for you. Someone's out there waiting for you. So just do it. Just do it. Just do it.
Pursue your dreams. I like that.
All right, the Michael Finkley Show. We're everywhere. If you can't find us, go to our website, michaelfinkley.com, and you'll see all of our social media platforms there. Everything Michael Finkley Show. We'll be back for season 8, the season of dreams, September 9th.
And everybody is gonna be on his show sometime in season 8. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out.
I'm just saying, we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen. I'm telling you, do I have to come to Ohio?
Do I need to come to I was going to say Winnebago, South Carolina. What part of South Carolina did you say he was in? You told me something.
I'm near Myrtle Beach.
Near who?
Myrtle Beach.
Oh. You should have just said that a long time ago. I know where that is.
The Michael Finkley Show, CTR Media Network on all podcast platforms. Okay. I'll do radio too. I do radio as well.
I know you do. Listen, talk about that, because you just had the beautiful lady from Love and the Divorce in the Black. I'm like Love in the Black. You just had the lady from Divorce in the Black on there. Get his body out the casket. Get his body.
Get his body. Listen, I love, because she's from South Carolina. And yeah, so she was on, and how this got started, because my mom did radio for so long in the area, and I just love the way she did it. And as time went on, I'm like, I want to do radio too. But every time I would apply to different radio stations, I would just get a big nothing. Like no one would contact me or anything. And so one day for season 7, I started this whole segment called Community Spotlight, where I was going to interview people in the community doing great things on my show. And so this person locally who saw me, has been following me, he's also a pastor. He's like, I'm doing my show, and I do my radio show, and I want you to be a part of it. I think you'd be really good for it, blah, blah, blah. And one thing led to another. Next month will be a year. So I have Community Spotlight on his segment once a week.
So these are people who are specifically from your city, or they're just from South Carolina? Or
they're from everywhere around the world, literally. He's global with his morning show. So with that, person that are just doing incredible things in the community. Yeah,
I think
making a difference.
That's amazing. So you're getting ready to hit a year. When do you hit a year?
The 22nd, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Listen, I think that's amazing. you have some really dope interviews on there too. So like,
Thank
kudos
you.
for that. I'm glad you brought that up. We hadn't said anything about that, but I'm glad that you brought that up.
Like I said,
Um,
the Flip fam has been very, very supportive of that. A lot of people from my show have been on the segment as well.
yeah.
So yeah,
Which
it's great.
brings like added awareness to what it is that he's doing too, because now these people who've done your show, they're coming over there. Like
Exactly.
that's amazing.
Exactly.
All
We're
right.
helping each other.
Listen, way to sneak some good content in after the closing.
Ah, that part.
Nah, I think that's really amazing. Damn, now I got more questions. What's been your biggest takeaway from doing radio? Like you wanted to do it for so long and it was so hard for you to get in and do it, and now you have this opportunity through the community spotlight.
I would say a dream fulfilled in that right. Now I was like, what else can I do on radio, right? Um, yeah, I have a voice in the local, but surrounding, like he has other affiliates in other states as well. So like people are hearing this weekly. So it's like, wow, a dream come true, literally. Because I always tell another person that's in radio, I'm like, this again, the door was just slammed in my face. People didn't want to give me a chance, but this one person stood up and said, you know what, come on. And so I'm grateful for it. So
Now,
I'm like, wow, this voice is everywhere.
listen, I think that that is absolutely amazing, and it's really a testament to anybody out there who is feeling down or they're feeling like a failure. Like you could do whatever it is that you want to do. You just got to keep on trying.
And what I've learned in that process too from this, people are watching.
Absolutely, absolutely. People are absolutely watching, and like you have truly done amazing. So kudos to you. Michael Finkley Show everywhere. That's across social media. MichaelFinkleyShow.com. The show comes back on September 9th. And you said who was going to be on the first show?
Oh, you're good. You just gotta watch and see.
So September 9th, the Michael Finkley Show comes back each and every Monday, 12 noon. You will have the recap on Monday evenings, and then you got your special segment on Wednesdays.
Yes.
Did we miss anything?
I think we're all good. Look, again, the singles out, biggest dream come true. It's everywhere. It's on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon. Go purchase it. And then our newest book for the show, Biggest Dream Come True, will be out soon as well. So
Now, are
that,
you a publisher or did you self-publish?
I self-publish.
Okay, because I'm self-publishing too, so that's why I asked.
Yep, self-publish. Yeah.
Okay. No, I think that's amazing. Thank you so much. It was one last thing I was going to say. The radio show.
Mhm.
Your community spotlight, is that on every day or is it once a week or?
Yeah, so it's once a week on Fridays via the Jamal Bakes Morning Show. Definitely go check out jamalbakesmedia.com and you will see all of my other interviews from previous guests. Or go on my social media. I'll post the interviews as well there as well. So definitely check us out, Community Spotlight Series. And if you want to be a part of Community Spotlight Series, email me at info@michaelfinklyshow.com.
Don't make me email my info to you because I. All right, you might get an email tonight. I want to be on community spotlight.
Listen, let's make it happen.
Listen, don't play with me. I'm gonna send you an email tonight. Oh, my other question. You gave us the website. As far as the are there any apps where people can where they can download the app and then actually listen to the show or?
You would ask that question. So not as of yet. Not as of yet.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, that's all I had for you, sir. Listen, I appreciate you so much again. We definitely will. I'm trying to make you a part of everything it is that I'm doing. So I will definitely drag you into something else. But I appreciate it.
On your radio platform too?
Say that again.
On your radio platform too?
Oh, hell yeah, absolutely. And I'm actually working it out to where there will be a mobile app to for people that because again, everything is digital with me. So like I'm trying to make it to where people could use their phones and their iPads and their tablets and all of that kind of stuff and access everything it is that I'm doing and not have to be sitting stationary in front of a computer and
Yeah.
all of that stuff. So I'd wholeheartedly believe in like internet radio. Um, obviously there's satellite and terrestrial and all this other shit, with radio and everything. But I fell in love with internet radio when I started doing that. My first show, Indie Soul Saturdays, like I really fell in love with internet radio, and I feel like there's so much potential with it, and people just don't really do anything with it because they don't necessarily believe in, what it is that you can do. But I'm here to change a lot of that. So it's a lot coming. So I appreciate you. And listen, you are officially signed. So I'm working all those details out so that I can get some money in and make sure everybody's getting paid and all of that jazz. So it's coming, man.
Of course.
All right. Well, you have a great night. Thank you so much again. And we'll talk. I'll probably hit you up after I get off the podcast.
Oh, I know.
Goodbye, Mr. Finkley.
Later.
Listen, if only y'all knew like how much I really enjoy doing this. And Kat, I appreciate you so much for being here in the comments. I love you. Listen, we got an amazing show coming up this Tuesday. I'm losing track of my days, but we got an amazing show coming up this Tuesday. I'm sending out the flyers and all that stuff tonight. So much stuff happening. So I know I did talk a little bit in the beginning just about the overall podcast and what it really is about. So again, of course, it's called the Blackprint, and it's really centered around me releasing my first book, which is also called the Blackprint. My journey to happiness. And yeah, this podcast, is really going to dive into a little bit of that. Each week, I'll talk a little bit more about different stuff that I'm going to have in the book. Also, it is me, really talking about some of the things that go on and really kind of the day-to-day of me running this media company. So you guys know that we publish a digital entertainment magazine, which has been out since 2014. So we are 10 years in. We have the podcast network, several platforms that are on the network and that are thriving. So we do have that. We have the radio station, which is launching actually September. So one more month, we'll be launching the radio station. We have an all new platform, UGD Live, which is going to be launching fourth quarter of this year. So that more than likely should be somewhere around end of October, November-ish. We're kind of still working out details for that, times, content, and different stuff that we're going to have on here. But that will be a 5-day-a-week show. So there's a lot going into that. So it's taking a little bit of time, which is all to be expected. But that is coming as well. Of course, other radio platforms. I do still have the entertainment plug, which is on Saturdays, but we've kind of been on hiatus as I've been working on getting the radio station up and pulling it off of the station that I had been. So that, as well is coming. Several of the people on the network or several of the individuals on the network are launching their own platforms as well. So of course, Cat Queen is going to be coming with her podcast, Cat Got Your Tongue. So many different things that are happening and many things that I'm going to be talking about. So tonight we actually went a lot longer than what we really planned. We had Michael Finkley on. Again, you guys can pull him up at michaelfinkley.show.com. Of course, on social media, that being Instagram and X and any other platform that he's on, it's all Michael Finkley Show. So you should be able to pull him up pretty easily. One of my really big media friends. He's doing a lot of the same stuff that we're doing, but of course he has his show, the Michael Finkley Show. You guys can catch that out. He's on hiatus right now, as most talk shows do have a couple month hiatus over the summer months. So he comes back September 9th with season 8 of the Michael Finkley Show. No guests have been announced yet, but he's got a whole lot of stuff coming new with the platform with the launch of season 8. So whole lot of stuff happening with him. And now it seems like he's going to be, in some way, shape, or form, a part of UG Digital or UGD Radio. Maybe he'll be part of UGD Live. So we will figure that piece out. We just kind of figured that out as he was getting ready to end the chat with us. But a whole lot of stuff going on. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys checking this out. Listen, my mind is all over the place just as far as different platforms that I want to put out here. And the biggest thing, or the biggest blessing, is that I'm in a position where I can put all my own platforms out, so I can green light it and push it to the level that I want and make it to be what I know that it can be. So I love this whole thing. I love entrepreneurship. And I love what it is that I'm doing. And, just as Michael Finkley was saying, like, follow your dreams and pursue your passion and just make it happen. Just do it. Like, it's hard, but it's easy. And it's really good to be able to do a lot of this stuff for yourself. So there's a lot that I'm learning from him. There's a lot that I can take away from the conversations that we have. We're getting ready to have a conversation as soon as I end this podcast. But he's like one of the best people that I've met in this industry, because like we can talk about different stuff. And like I was saying in the very beginning, a lot of times we feel like we don't have anybody to talk to because people might listen, but they don't necessarily understand or get it. Like they don't get it. So he's somebody who actually gets it. So that's really, really a cool thing. And just take some time to check out his platform, The Michael Finkley Show, and you will be like you will be amazed at what it is that he does. The power that he has. He just attended the Oscars, just as viewing it. So as a guest, he went to the Oscars, but he just covered the Stellar Awards, and he's got some amazing interviews that he's actually been running on social media for the last few days. So you can check a lot of that stuff out and see some of his interviews and actually see him in action. So this was cool. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Of course, listen, I can talk. So it's a whole lot more that I really could get into, but it is 10 o'clock. And the plan was not to go this long. We were supposed to be done by 9. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. I definitely will be back next Sunday, but I may drop something in between just to kind of get some more content in there. Make sure that you guys tune in to Transcending the Culture. We are on each and every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have an amazing guest on this Tuesday. We're going to actually start posting about that tonight. So you guys will see that, but make sure you tune in. We got a lot of new guests who are coming to the platform. Things are going up. So it's looking really, really good. Know that also you can catch these podcasts, all the podcasts on our network. You now can catch them at ugdigital.com. So both Open Letters to a Survivor, which airs on Sundays at 7 p.m. with Lady Poet, Cassandra Williams, and K Love. Also, Tim Stevens is on there as well. So you guys can catch that each and every Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That ran on ugdigital.com tonight. Also, this has been running on ugdigital.com tonight. And all podcasts moving forward will be running there on UG Digital. Of course, you can also catch them on YouTube. You can catch them on Facebook and Twitter. There's some issues with it running on Twitter right now. So we have not run on Twitter for the past few weeks, but we should be able to get that back up pretty soon. And then, of course, we now are in the Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire universe. So all of our shows will now run there as well. They upload the day after the podcast. So this episode and Open Letters to a Survivor will both upload to those platforms tomorrow. So you'll be able to catch them then. And then we'll work on getting back episodes logged and uploaded to there as well. But that's about it. So you guys have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And we will see you throughout this week. Make sure that you guys keep hitting up ugdigital.com as there's news there, updates, and you can find out a lot more about the podcast. And one more thing, all of the podcasts the audio version will now be on iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, and several other streaming platforms. So very soon you'll be able to catch us there as well. So that is it for now. You guys have a good night.